Welcome Diecast race fans to Group 4. I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
Let's have a look at who's driving tonight. Up front we've got James Kirk and Gnocchi Jack.
Do you think that's James T. Kirk?
Well, he's not in the Enterprise tonight. In row 2 we've got Karlsson and NatteCrazy. Then in behind them, Quade and Matthew Harding. And finally, rounding out the top 8, Po Boy and Todd Bowser. So we've got both Po Boy and Gnocchi Jack, both experienced drivers here. Will that experience pay off for them? Oh, there's some carnage. Even before we started there, we've got 2 drivers didn't make it out. But Gnocchi Jack storming away there. Oh no, he's flipped over. Gnocchi Jack goes over.
And Kirk takes advantage and hits warp factor 9 there.
Oh, that's disappointing. Gnocchi Jack will be gutted about that one. And who's that with him?
I'm not sure. There could be Karlsson, but we've got 2 drivers stuck back at the start. We need to go back to the replay and just see what happened. Right from the outset, Gnocchi Jack absolutely gave it the beans, got right out in front and looked like he was set for a win.
But as we know, the canyon shows no favourites and gives no quarter. And then in behind, there's just cars flipping all over the place. That was Karlsson who went over and then does a massive roof slide. So we've got 2 down. The 2 cars that were stuck at the start get reset at the back of the field, and we kick off again for lap number 2.
Yeah, we're not quite sure what happened with those 2 cars right at the start, but it'd be unfair not to let them at least head down the canyon once.
And with Gnocchi Jack out, that leaves only Po Boy as an experienced driver at the track so far. Matthew Harding in the white number 7, blazing out. James Kirk gets back in front. Oh, Matthew Harding goes over. James Kirk, cool under pressure, finishes up, takes the win.
For a rookie, James Kirk is showing some great skill out there.
And Matthew Harding from WCDC Racing over on his roof, and then NatteCrazy didn't start the last lap and stalls out on this lap. But let's go to Dave, who's trackside with Matthew Harding.
Thanks, Tom. Now, Matthew, I've got to ask, do you prefer cookies or ice cream for dinner?
What the bloody hell's that got to do with racing, you clown? Can't somebody ask a decent question around here?
Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Dave. Insightful as always.
We see in the replay here, James Kirk just very well balanced there, but Matthew Harding should have learnt from Gnocchi Jack in that last lap. You just can't give it the beans into Kahuna Corner.
And then we've got absolute carnage in behind with cars rolling all over the place. And, whoa, who was that? That was Po Boy going over doing a full roof roll there.
That move made very popular by Lily the dog in the first race.
So luckily, even with all the cars rolling, it was only Matthew Harding that goes out. So we've still got 5 cars into lap 3. How many are going to make it through this one? Quade jumps ahead, but James Kirk back out in front. Oh, we got carnage in behind. Quade and Kirk cross the line, first and second.
And what happened with the other cars?
Oh my goodness, they're all rolled over.
Wow, that's ridiculous. I mean, James Kirk here in the replay, just a beautiful jump. That car is so well balanced. And then Quade manages to avoid the carnage happening around him. There's all 3 cars just flipping all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know how he managed to slide through there. He gets lifted up a bit, but look at that. That's the number 9 Cummins car of Todd Bowser doing his absolute best to try and flip back over onto his wheels, but was not able to complete. Wow, so final 2 cars for the final lap. Are they going to be able to hold on, or are we going to have a total DNF race?
It wouldn't surprise me, mate, but these 2 have been driving pretty well so far.
James Kirk, nicely balanced. Is he going to make it all the way through? Clean run from James Kirk. Absolutely showing the way tonight. And then Quade in the Dorcy car, not quite enough gas to get it all the way to the finish. He's going to have to go back and try again.
Wow, so James Kirk, absolute legend for a total rookie, never driven here before. He just wasn't phased from the get-go. Let's see if Quade can keep it together or if his nerves are going to get the better of him.
Starts out nice and clean, nicely through KM corner. Only a small hiccup on the jump, through the S-bend, and crosses the line. Nice bit of pace there right at the end. So that means Quade and James Kirk go through. So the 00 track out car of James Kirk for Fractal Panda comes in first place. The number 8 Dorcy car for Todd Bowser from Brickchurch Racing comes in second. And there was mass carnage for NASCARNAGE yet again.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to have a race where nobody finishes the way we're going. But This is what happens when you put that many cars on the track and we have tough rules.
That's right. So now what happens is we have to recycle some of the cars that have lost for the next set of drivers. We've had the repair crews working hard to tidy up the cars that have gone off track before and made an absolute mess of themselves. They will be ready for next week's race.
Yeah, and hopefully the new set of drivers will do better in those cars.
Let's just hope none of those drivers are superstitious. That's enough for tonight. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next week.
These races are so intense, mate. I'm really looking forward to see what happens with the next lot.
Me too, man. We've only got Jim Leichenring as an experienced racer left. The rest are all rookies.
Awesome.